What if I told you that the person doing 10 minutes of exercise is burning more fat than the person grinding it out for an entire hour? I know, I know. Your brain is probably screaming, impossible, right now. But here's the kicker. Science has been trying to tell us this for decades, and we've been too stubborn to listen. I'm talking about real, peer-reviewed research from places like the American College of Sports Medicine, not some fitness influencer's hot take. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why short, intense bursts of exercise can literally rewrite your body's fat-burning code. So if you've ever felt guilty about not having time for those marathon gym sessions, or if you're tired of watching other people get better results with seemingly less effort, stick around, because today we're going to flip everything you thought you knew about fat loss completely upside down. Hey there, fitness family. Welcome back to How to Be Fit. If you're new here, I'm your host, Lana, and this is where we dive deep into the science behind getting fit, staying healthy, and actually enjoying the process. Now, I want you to be honest with me for a second. How many times have you walked into a gym, seen someone on a treadmill for what feels like 3 hours straight, and thought to yourself, man, I should be doing that? Or maybe you've been that person. I certainly have, grinding away on cardio machines, thinking that more time equals better results. It's like we've been programmed to believe that fitness is some kind of endurance test, where the winner is whoever can suffer the longest. But here's what's fascinating, and honestly, a little frustrating when you think about it. While we've been torturing ourselves with these marathon workouts, researchers have been quietly uncovering something incredible. They found that our bodies have this amazing built-in system that responds better to short, intense challenges than to long, steady suffering. And I'm not just talking about saving time here, though that's definitely a bonus. I'm talking about actually getting better results. More fat loss, better cardiovascular health, improved insulin sensitivity, increased muscle retention, the whole package. So why isn't everyone doing this? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We're going to break down the science, bust some myths, and by the end, you'll have a completely new understanding of how your body actually works. Now, I will say this. Some of what we're about to discuss might challenge everything you've been told about exercise. But I promise you, if you keep an open mind, this could be the game changer you've been looking for. All right, let's start with the science because this is where it gets really interesting. There's this concept called high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, that's been around since the 1930s. But it wasn't until recently that we really understood why it works so well. Picture your body like a high-performance sports car. When you do steady-state cardio, that hour on the treadmill at the same pace, you're basically cruising in third gear. Your body gets comfortable, finds its rhythm, and honestly, it gets pretty efficient at conserving energy. But when you do short, intense bursts, we're talking 20 seconds to 4 minutes of all-out effort, you're essentially redlining that engine. And here's where the magic happens. Your body goes into what scientists call metabolic disruption. Now, I know that sounds scary, but trust me, it's a good thing. During these intense intervals, your body burns through its readily available energy stores, your muscle glycogen, incredibly quickly. But here's the kicker. It takes hours to replenish those stores, and guess what your body uses for fuel during that recovery process? That's right, fat. Pure, stubborn fat. There's actually a name for this phenomenon. It's called EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Basically, your body becomes a fat-burning furnace for up to 24 hours after your workout. Some studies show this effect can last even longer. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people, Sarah and Mike. Sarah does 45 minutes of moderate cardio every day. She burns about 400 calories during her workout, and then that's pretty much it. Her body goes back to baseline. Mike, on the other hand, does 10 minutes of high-intensity intervals. He might only burn 120 calories during the actual workout, but here's where it gets interesting. His body continues burning calories at an elevated rate for the next 12 to 24 hours. Studies suggest this can add up to an additional 200 to 400 calories burned throughout the day. So who's burning more calories overall? Mike. And more importantly, a higher percentage of those calories are coming from fat stores. But wait, there's more. And I promise I'm not trying to sound like a late-night infomercial here. Here's something that might blow your mind. When you do these short, intense workouts, you're not just burning calories. You're actually changing your body's hormonal environment. And this is where things get really exciting. During high-intensity exercise, your body releases what I like to call the fountain of youth cocktail. We're talking about growth hormone, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. These hormones are like your body's natural fat-burning supplements, except they're way more powerful than anything you can buy in a bottle. Studies have shown that growth hormone levels can increase by up to 2,000% after a high-intensity workout. Let me repeat that, 2,000%. Growth hormone is one of the most powerful fat-burning and muscle-building hormones your body produces naturally. Compare that to steady-state cardio, where growth hormone levels might increase by 100 to 200%. It's like comparing a firecracker to a nuclear bomb. But here's where it gets really interesting. Let me tell you about a study that came out of McMaster University in Canada. They took two groups of people. Group 1 did 4 to 6 hours of moderate cardio per week. Group 2 did just 15 minutes of high-intensity intervals per week. After 15 weeks, guess which group had better improvements in cardiovascular fitness, insulin sensitivity, and fat loss? If you guessed the 15-minute group, you're absolutely right. Same results in a fraction of the time. But why? It all comes down to something called mitochondrial adaptation. Your mitochondria are like the power plants of your cells. They're where fat gets converted into usable energy. High-intensity exercise forces your body to create more mitochondria and makes existing ones more efficient. It's like upgrading from a standard engine to a turbo engine. You don't just go faster, you become more efficient at using fuel. And here's something crucial that most people don't understand. Your body adapts to whatever stress you put on it. If you always do the same moderate exercise, your body gets really good at doing that moderate exercise with as little effort as possible. It's survival instinct. But when you constantly challenge it with different intensities and durations, when you keep it guessing, your body has no choice but to stay adaptable and keep improving. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Let's address the elephant in the room. I can practically hear some of you thinking, if this is so effective, why isn't everyone doing it? Why do I still see people spending hours on cardio machines? And that's a totally fair question. The truth is, there are some persistent myths that keep people stuck in old patterns. Myth number 1, you need to be in the fat-burning zone. This one drives me crazy. The so-called fat-burning zone is this magical heart rate range where your body supposedly burns the highest percentage of calories from fat. And technically, that's true. At lower intensities, you do burn a higher percentage of fat. But here's the problem with that logic. It's like saying you should drive 25 miles per hour because you get better gas mileage, ignoring the fact that you could drive 65 miles per hour, use slightly more gas per mile, but cover 3 times the distance in the same amount of time. Yes, at lower intensities, you burn a higher percentage of fat, but at higher intensities, you burn more total calories, including more total fat calories. Plus, you get all those hormonal benefits we talked about. Myth number 2, high-intensity exercise is only for athletes. I get it. When people hear high intensity, they picture some CrossFit Games athlete throwing around massive weights or sprinting like they're being chased by a bear. But that's not what we're talking about here. High intensity is relative. For someone who's been sedentary, walking briskly for 30 seconds might be high intensity. For someone who's more fit, it might be a full sprint. The key is working at your maximum effort for short periods. I once worked with a 65-year-old grandmother who had never exercised a day in her life. We started with 10-second intervals of marching in place as fast as she could, followed by 50 seconds of slow walking. Within 3 months, she had lost 20 pounds and felt more energetic than she had in decades. Myth number 3, more is always better. This one's deeply ingrained in our culture, isn't it? We've been taught that if something is good, then more of it must be better. If 30 minutes of exercise is good, then 60 minutes must be twice as good. But your body doesn't work that way. There's actually a point of diminishing returns, and for many people, that point comes much sooner than they think. When you exercise for long periods, especially at moderate intensities, your body starts producing a hormone called cortisol. A little cortisol is good. It helps mobilize energy. But too much cortisol actually promotes fat storage, especially around your midsection. So you could literally be working out so much that you're making it harder for your body to lose fat. The very thing you're trying to achieve, you're actually working against. But enough about what doesn't work. Let's talk about what does work. All right, here's where the rubber meets the road. You understand the science, you know why it works, but how do you actually implement this in your own life? First, let me ease your mind about something. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need fancy equipment. And you definitely don't need to completely overhaul your entire lifestyle. Let's start with the absolute basics. I call it the staircase protocol, and it's perfect for beginners. Find a staircase. Could be in your house, your apartment building, or even a parking garage. Walk up the stairs as fast as you safely can for 30 seconds. Then walk slowly back down, taking about 60 seconds. That's it. Repeat that 5 to 10 times depending on your fitness level, and you've just completed a highly effective fat-burning workout in under 10 minutes. Don't have stairs? No problem. You can do this with body weight exercises. 30 seconds of jumping jacks, squats, push-ups against a wall, or even marching in place with high knees. The key is the intensity and the rest periods. For those of you who are a bit more advanced, let's talk about the Tabata protocol. This was developed by Dr. Izumi Tabata, and it's deceptively simple. 20 seconds of all-out effort, followed by 10 seconds of rest. Repeat 8 times. Total time, 4 minutes. Now, I'm warning you right now, those 4 minutes are going to feel like 4 hours, but the results speak for themselves. Dr. Tabata's original study showed improvements in both aerobic and anaerobic capacity that exceeded traditional cardio training. For the more experienced folks, you can play with different intervals. Try 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, or 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. The beauty of this approach is its flexibility. But here's the most important thing I want you to remember. Consistency beats perfection every single time. I'd rather you do an imperfect 5-minute workout 3 times a week than plan the perfect 45-minute routine that you only do once. And here's a little secret from my years of coaching. Attach your workout to something you already do every day. Maybe it's right after you brush your teeth in the morning or right before you shower. Make it so automatic that you don't even have to think about it. Now, some of you might be wondering, what about muscle building? Won't I lose muscle with shorter workouts? Actually, the opposite is true. High-intensity interval training has been shown to preserve muscle mass better than steady-state cardio, especially when combined with some resistance exercises. Remember those hormonal benefits we talked about? Growth hormone doesn't just burn fat. It also helps maintain and build lean muscle tissue. So there you have it. The science is clear, the methods are simple, and the results speak for themselves. Look, I know this might be a lot to process, especially if it goes against everything you've believed about exercise. But I want you to remember something. The best workout is the one you'll actually do. So here's what I want you to do right now. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until you have the perfect plan. Stand up right where you are and do 30 seconds of any movement that gets your heart rate up. March in place, do jumping jacks, dance like nobody's watching. I don't care what it is. Go ahead, I'll wait. How do you feel? I bet you feel more energized than you did 30 seconds ago. That's the power of high-intensity movement. Now, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from today's video. Are you team 10 minutes, or are you still skeptical? And if you try any of the protocols I mentioned, let me know how it goes. If this video opened your eyes to a new way of thinking about fitness, smash that like button. It really does help the algorithm show this information to more people who might need to hear it. And if you want more science-backed fitness tips that actually work in the real world, subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're building a community of people who are tired of fitness myths and ready for real results. Remember, your body is incredibly adaptable and resilient. It wants to be healthy, it wants to be strong, and it wants to burn fat efficiently. Sometimes we just need to give it the right signals. So stop punishing yourself with endless hours of boring cardio. Start working with your body's natural systems instead of against them. Your future self will thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Now get out there and make those 10 minutes count.